Hi, everybody. First, just hi. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for spending the last 2 days with us, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, ministers, everyone, I'll underscore that. We're so grateful for your time. We're so grateful for your engagement in the forum across the full time, and we're looking forward to your engagement next year as well. Without further ado, I'm going to start off our closing session by handing it over to Kel J. You've heard a lot about our youth fellows across the past couple of days. They're incredibly special, talented people who are very passionate about the issues that the forum uplifts. And so with great pleasure, I'm turning over to Kel J to start us off.
So this is about a grandfather speaking to his grandson about the effects of climate change and how we have to come together. Papa sitting upon his old back step, eyes full of time ticking, he can't forget. His hands were rough, with a voice so calm. Every word he spoke was like a healing charm. Evening breeze flow through the coconut tree. He said, boy, come here, sit down and talk with me. This is something that you must understand. Our heritage, right on these lands. All lands are homes, no headline dreams. Roots running deep, we are living streams. Elders taught we what money can't see. All land means more than destiny. Leaders build, hold true to the promises made. Invest in green, sow us in every plan that's laid. Infrastructure, renewable from ground. All year around, all year around. Climate change, real and true. Climate change in our view. Let us build, stay true to the promises made. Invest in green, sow us in every plan that's laid. Infrastructure, renewable from ground. All year around, all year around. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Oh, yeah. Climate change running up on our back step. Hurricane sweeping, we can't forget. Jamaica's cry, mothers' lullabies, children holding hands as the tides rush by. Evening breeze flow through a coconut tree. Grandfather say that our lands is strong, but his storm season sings a different song. On our land, all lands are home, no headline dream. Roots running deep, we are living stream. Elders taught we what money can't see. All land mean more than destiny. Leaders build, stay true to the promises made. Invest in green, sow us in every plan that's laid. Infrastructure, green from the ground. All year around, all year around. Climate change, real and true. Climate change in our view. Leaders build, stay true to the promises made. Invest in green, sow us in every plan that's laid. Infrastructure, renewable from ground. All year around, all year around. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Now the tides have changed, you must rearrange from today. Oh, thank you so much. So that's my song, asking us to
Thank you so much, Keljay. I have to say that the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis asked me 3 times to share a recording of that, so it's with great pleasure that I invite up another one of our youth fellows, Chiamaka Akpogwu, to share her final reflections after these 2 days.
Thank you very much. I don't know how to top up that song. I wish I prepared more. You should have told me in advance. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As we bring the Berlin Climate Mobility Forum to a close, I find myself reflecting on a different gathering a year ago. I arrived at the inaugural forum as a young woman. I'm from Nigeria. Far from home, far from the communities in Lagos already dealing with the consequences of a changing climate. I arrived with conviction, but if I am honest, I also arrived feeling small. The challenges before us felt and still feels overwhelming. Questions of displacement, loss, mobility, rights, survival, and justice. We've heard the theme over and over again throughout the forum. But these questions seemed so vast that I often wondered what difference one more voice could make, a voice like mine. Over the past year, however, through the Climate Mobility Fellowship, I've been taken on an extraordinary journey. From Berlin to New York, from Brazil to classrooms, to webinars, to symposiums and global conversations, I have had the privilege of learning from communities, engaging with policymakers, researchers, advocates, and fellow young leaders. I've contributed in my own small way to a growing global conversation on climate mobility. And through that journey, I learned something simple but profound, that a voice may begin small, but when it joins others, it becomes difficult to ignore. It creates a resonance. And so as this chapter of my journey as a Climate Mobility Fellow draws to a close, that lesson is one that I carry with me. The conviction that meaningful change rarely begins with a single voice, a single institution, or a single event. That it begins when people choose to listen to one another, to learn from one another, and to act together. And so today, as we conclude this forum, just as my own fellowship journey concludes, I believe the most important question is not what has been accomplished, because I struggle a lot to think about it. What impact am I making? Or what impact have I made courtesy of this fellowship? The most important question is, accomplished for whom? Because the true measure of our work, the work we do at this intersection of climate change and human mobility, is not found in declaration or panels or conference halls. It is found in the frontline communities. It is found in the farmer confronting seasons that no longer behave as they once did. It is found in the young person wondering if they will inherit an opportunity or a crisis. It is found in coastal communities watching the sea draw closer every year, drawing closer to places that hold memory, identity, belonging. It is found in whether people are able to remain where they choose to stay and move with dignity when they must. And so over the last 2 days, we have heard remarkable contributions from leaders, government representatives, researchers, practitioners, communities, and young people. We have heard repeated calls to protect rights, to localize adaptation finance, to preserve cultural heritage, to expand safe and dignified mobility pathways, and to ensure that communities themselves remain at the center of decision-making. We have heard a growing consensus that climate mobility must be met not with fear or short-term reaction, not with the crisis rhetorics, but it must be met with foresight, with partnership, with dignity, and with justice. And perhaps one of the more important lessons from this forum was captured in an idea by Ms. Amy Pope about agency being the antidote to vulnerability. Again and again, communities have reminded us that they are not waiting to be saved, that they are already adapting, already innovating, already building resilience. And our responsibility is not to act for communities, it is to work with them, to listen to them like President Misik shared, to invest equitably, to build genuine partnerships, and to ensure that resources reach those carrying the most burden. But what inspired me the most, I must confess, during this forum has been the presence of young people like Carl who shared songs, young people like Brittany who shared poems, young people like Laura who shared advocacy statements, young people who opened their hearts and spoke honestly about their fears, about their hopes, about their dreams, their homes, their aspirations, their futures. In doing so, they reminded us that the voices we heard here are not isolated voices. They are a microcosm of many. They are echoes of millions more. Millions whose experiences rarely shape the policies that affect them. Millions whose futures depend on the choices that we make. I believe if we listen closely, we can hear them too. Their determination to adapt, their determination to remain connected to their communities, to their lands, to their cultures and identities. Their determination to build futures worth inheriting. And so as we leave Berlin today, the task before us is both simple to describe and difficult to realize. And that is to turn consensus into action. To ensure that political will somehow matches political language. To ensure that our commitments, which we have expressed quite vociferously throughout this forum, our commitment to dignity, to rights, to human agency, does not end where political convenience begins. Their true value will be measured by when they remain visible when difficult decisions arise. The strength of these commitments will be visible when we are called upon to extend the same humanity we speak of here to people beyond our own borders. Because climate mobility is ultimately a question of justice. And justice is not measured by the ambitions we announce or the commitments we sign. It is measured by whether people's lives become safer, more dignified, and more secure because of what we choose to do. What we choose to do in our institutions, in our policy spaces, in our research halls, in our classrooms, in our various spheres of influence, and in the choices we make when no one is watching us. I thank the Global Center for Climate Mobility and its partners because they have shown us what becomes possible when investment is made in people, particularly in young people. And so as this fellowship comes to an end, I carry with me, especially on behalf of my co-fellows, immense gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunity to learn and engage. Gratitude for friendships formed across continents. Gratitude for the communities whose courage and determination continue to inspire this work. And gratitude for the reminder that lasting change is built through collective effort, through patient commitment and shared purpose. And we've seen this through the number of endorsements we've gotten on the climate mobility principles. And so what we have seen so far is that the future of climate mobility need not be orchestrated solely, nor does it belong to institutions alone. It belongs to all of us. And so my hope is that we leave this forum with more than just new knowledge and new connections. May we live with a responsibility that refuses to leave us. May the conversations that we have shared over the past 2 days remain with us long after this forum ends. May these conversations travel home with us. May they sit beside us in our trains and our planes home. May they sit beside us in our offices and our institutions. May they return to us when budgets are negotiated, when policies are drafted, and when dicey choices are being deliberated on. May they refuse to be forgotten. May they remind us of the responsibility we carry to one another, and to those whose voices are too often absent from the rooms where decisions are made. And may the measure of this forum not be what was said in Berlin, but what changes because we were here. Because if the past 2 days have shown us anything, it is that progress remains possible, that partnerships remain possible, that solidarity remains possible, and that a future shaped by dignity, by justice and agency is achievable if we are willing to build it together. And so I arrived last year wondering what difference one voice could make. I leave this year knowing that voices joined together have the potential to change the course of history and to effectively tackle one of the most pressing issues of our time, that of climate mobility. And so for the past 1 year, the remarkable year of my fellowship, for the past 2 days of being here, and for the honor of being here present to deliver this speech, I say Ejimo Bimnile Asidalono. And that's Igbo for saying from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chiamaka. The honor was ours. We really appreciate those moving words. It's another great honor of mine to welcome Hannes Einsborn, Director of Migration at Robert Bosch Stiftung. The Global Center for Climate Mobility is deeply grateful for our partnership and work that we do with Bosch in so many ways, but especially the forum. Hannes, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, I think after the very eloquent and wise words from Chiamaka, I think I have not much to add, but maybe just to share a few emotions with you after these 2 intense days. I feel very proud of how far we have come, also looking at the progress from last forum to this forum now. I feel very energized and hopeful. But at the same time, I'm also very tired, and I guess many of you are too. It has been intense days. And I think I'm going to use this opportunity to thank a number of people, a number of institutions involved. I think, first of all, thank you to your excellencies for your leadership in advancing the topic. Thank you, of course, to the GCCM, to Kamal. We are very proud of our partnership, very thankful. And I think the team of the GCCM is a great team. It's a relatively small, but I think an incredibly mighty team that can pull off such an event. So thank you. I'd like to thank, of course, the foundation and my team as well. I think 2 colleagues of mine have been extraordinary in helping make this event happen. But there have been so many other colleagues involved. Our events management has been incredible. Our facility management has been incredible. Also our communications department, and I think many others. Also thank you to all the contractors involved, to the Climate Mobility Fellows who have really enlightened and grounded us also in our discussions throughout these 2 days. Thank you to the volunteers. Thank you to the government of Germany and also to the German Federal Foreign Office, which is now taking a more active role for the next year and is wanting to host us. So I think that's an excellent and very good news. And thank you all for coming, and thank you for your contributions, for your speaking engagement. And I know that many of you also had a long travel here, so thank you for your trust in this forum and for making this long journey to come here. And maybe just to say, I think it doesn't need only a forum. I think it needs a whole ecosystem to really make change happen. And I know that many of the people, organizations in this room are really key to advance on what we have discussed today and yesterday. And I think we can be incredibly proud of the principles. I think that's an incredible momentum. But at the same time, I also appeal to us not to be complacent. I think it's a very pressing issue, like Gianmarca has said, and I think there is so much to be done. But I think if someone can do it, if someone can pull it off, I think it's this group of incredible people and organizations in this room. So that leaves me very hopeful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannes. And it's with another great pleasure that I get to welcome Kamal Al-Makrane, the Managing Director for the Global Center for Climate Mobility, to give his closing remarks. I've been able to know Kamal as a friend and now a colleague for over 10 years, 15 years. And just to say that my first year at GCCM has been one of the great adventures of my life. And so thanks for Kamal for giving me a shot in this role, and glad to be here. Kamal.
Thank you very much, Lucretia. I was afraid that you will say it was sleepless year since you arrived, so thank you for avoiding that. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, thank you. Shukran, gracias, kamsamida. And I can go, merci. I cannot be in Germany without But the point here, and most importantly, Dankeschön. When I was given the privilege to, in my opening speech, I said that I was optimistic. I leave this place even more optimistic. And I am glad that I will go back, and as I said, I will look into the eyes of my son Zaid, who told me, please tell your friends, the only failure is to give up. To say, Zaid, they are not giving up. They came together, they engaged, they discussed, they agreed, and now they have a compromise and a roadmap to move forward. Berlin is not the end. A meeting is not a purpose. Our aim is to enable and change lives on the ground. So please, as we leave this place, make sure that you call on the person you took the business card from. Please, as you leave this place, if you promised someone something, please deliver. Please, if you promise to stand by, to support or to assist, make sure that it becomes a reality. Because that's how, one action at a time, our ecosystem will grow stronger. The conviction of all of us will grow stronger. And our capacity to impact, to bring the change we want to see in the world will grow stronger. I cannot close without, of course, thanking some of those who defined this exercise. And I would like to particularly ask and thank Ambassador David Donoghue for all his support in building momentum for the global principles. Thank you, Ambassador. It was an engagement with 137 countries, not UN meeting style, but shuttle diplomacy. So you can imagine how much of back and forth in French, in Portuguese, in English, and some even asked for Arabic translation. But I am glad to report that we are now at 57 endorsements. We started with 51, and my colleagues, we said, so can we make now the not final? And I said, no, just wait. And every day, every hour passes, I hear or receive a text message from the minister or from the delegate. We got the go-ahead from Capital. You please add us to the list. So we are at 57, but the journey does not stop with the number. It's the movement. It's what we aim at. And it takes, as the saying goes back home, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a movement to bring the change we want to see. I would like to thank particular people that made this event possible. For the first time, I have to admit, it was easy or easier for me. And on this, I have to acknowledge that without David Bloomberg, who for the anecdote is technically on parental leave, but spent the last 6 months working for making this happen. I would like to thank Yan Kim for making sure that every organization, every government that promised $1, it landed on the bank account. I would like to thank Lucretia for all the things that I don't want to do and that I don't want to engage with. And she made them happen in a very smoothness, I have not heard any complaints so far, so I'm so happy. So thank you so much, Lucretia. I am looking for our best brains, Sarah. Hey. And I have to admit, as you may note, as an African, as an Arab, as a Middle Eastern, my blood runs high. So I have emotions. It's regrettable, but that's who I am. With Sarah, the message is always clear, sustained, and with glamour. So I am thankful to you that you make our partnerships comprehensive, you make them clear and concise. As you could see, I'm not even paying attention to the time. I would also like to thank all our fellows for their contribution, your art, your talent. This is a journey. We hope to see you around. We had some of the fellows who became negotiators, others became delegate. One even was appointed ambassador. So we are quite happy to be part of that pipeline, that ambition, the emotion. I would like to thank InPolis, our friends who helped us make this bigger, glamorous, and run in an efficient and an effective way. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you so much. I would like to thank the volunteers for doing everything, every time that was not part of your terms of reference. Thank you. Last but not least, I would like to thank the Bosch Foundation and the German government. And as they say, when we say government, I will not be surprised if it's at least 600,000 to 700,000 civil servants. So I would like to be specific among this 600,000 or 700,000. I would like to thank Philippe Maupet. And I will tell you why. And I always say I'm not a diplomat, I'm a peacekeeper, so I give myself flexibility. Germany or the German government is a big tanker. And Philippe was able to drive that tanker through the canal. Thank you very much. Without you, Philippe, without your office, without your colleagues, we will have not had the support at the heart of Europe that galvanized European support, that galvanized other capitals' engagement, but that galvanized the promise that this is not a North-South issue. This is not a regional issue. This is a global agenda, and we are all impacted, one way or another. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a safe trip back. Please stay in touch. Please write to us. And if you need anything, do not hesitate to write. You are all formally invited to the Berlin Climate Mobility Forum 3rd edition. So please mark the event, and you will get the dates sooner than expected, because we count on you, we need you, and you can always lean on us. Thank you very much.
And our last voice is one that has shared his voice, both spoken and sung. And just say that it's a pleasure. Our future is bright. We have young leaders like Kato Ewekia that help to lift up their voice and advocacy about this issue. Kato, once more, stage is yours.
Just. Talofa, good evening, everyone. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, everyone. I'll be performing a dance from the island of Nanomea in Tuvalu. It says, it means Lele Manu. So if you're feeling a bit heebie-jeebies when I'm dancing, I open up the floor to come and join me. I'm not forcing anyone. It is also one of the dance that I taught the GCCM staff. So, if you want to join me, please, you're welcome to. So I'm just going to give you some tips, ladies and gentlemen. So ladies, it's the key here is your legs closed, bend a bit down, and look at your arms, and smile. It is a very easy dance. Okay, gentlemen, we're the tough ones. We're doing a squat for like 7 days, for a few minutes. We're doing squats, and then the key word here, you look tough, okay? Smile, and look at your hands in the movement. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for today. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Faftai.
So, who's got to come on? Please. This is not a UN meeting. No, I still. Oh! Vivian's in the house! We will all learn. Have you noticed something? Ladies. You have always insisted on gender